What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Who are we kidding? What's going on, gentlemen? It is episode 86 of the Scope, an FPS gaming news show. I don't know whether to call it a podcast or news show. People listen to us, I guess it's a podcast. I look at it more of as like a gaming live news show, but here we are.
Podcast gaming news show.
I don't know. Is that a thing?
Podcast news show? Yeah.
It is now.
A newscast.
A newscast
gaming
program.
Newscast.
Yeah.
Just call it the program.
Welcome to the program. I'll give you guys two guesses on who's back. BlueTheRobot is back in a new studio.
New office, baby.
Do we get an MTV Cribs tour?
Eventually. It is still boxes everywhere.
This is my fridge.
We still gotta. Yeah, that's my fridge. It's pretty basic.
Yeah.
And yeah. I don't want to dox myself either, but yeah, you know.
We gotta do MTV Cribs. There's surprisingly a lot to talk about, and I would say, Blue, what have you been up to? But I think I know what you've been up to.
Yeah. Just moving heavy stuff, checking out the town, just meeting up with some friends, family. My brother also got a house too, so I went to his housewarming party, and then I finally set my office up. So now I have an idea of where I want things. And I know eventually I'm gonna get my green screen back up because I'm gonna go all out this time and put myself in those videos of like me standing up and everything. I got this whole idea. So it's gonna be like back my left. It's gonna be just the entire wall there, and then I got some curtain. I got a curtain rod. I got to put some curtains up, block out the light. It's a little bit more soundproof because it is echoey. And I forget how echoey a new room could be. I was so used to the way my old office was. Everything was so dampened. Yeah. I had a whole couch and the panels and everything. And then with none of that, it's whew. So sorry, excuse the noise. Hopefully by next week it should be somewhat fixed. So
I'll drink to that. Sweet, man.
Had some good beers too recently. It's a good beer town, man. A lot of good bars, local bars. People coming to go, hey Tim, hey Bob. It's like small town feel. I'm so glad I'm out of the city because of that, man.
Yeah, you'll like that. You'll like that a lot better. I
did see our police chief, and he's bigger than bigger than what a police chief should be. So it's Glock 17. I made a joke. It was like his Glock 17 looked like a Glock 43.
Never mind. I don't want him coming at you.
Look, it's slow. It's slow in the town. Ain't much crime going around.
So you're saying he doesn't have to move quickly?
I don't think so. I think he probably knows all the criminals by on the first name basis.
Yeah, I believe that. I'm already remote, and I'm looking to move you in remoter. Like I won't even. Yeah, it'll be crazy. I'm trying to be a hermit.
Slowly.
I'm gonna be a hermit one day.
But dude, I did get Xfinity as well too.
Oh, so along those lines, I'm getting fiber to my house. Dude, nice. dude. I get gigabit internet pretty soon in the next few months, I think. So I am so excited because when I'm editing for Iron, I have to download these like 200 gig video files and then upload like the 4K videos. It takes forever. And I'm so excited. I had an absolute roller coaster of emotion with the internet guy because on their Facebook page, they announced the new fiber. They got funding for a new fiber project and my house was in the area. So I went to sign up for it on the website and it wouldn't work. So then I called.
You're like thinking, no.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. And I'm like, dude, my house is in there. So I called the guy. I'm a business account. So I called the business contact at the ISP. And I'm like, I'm in that. And he's like, oh, I don't think you are. It's not working for me. I'm like, can you double check? So I had this highest of high and then lowest of low. And then yesterday I got an email and he's like, wait, I talked to our engineer and your address is in the area. So we'll put you on the list. Yes, I did it. So I'm pretty excited to get fiber. That's going to be crazy. And then I'm going to get used to fiber. Nice. And then I'm going to move out in the middle of BFE and have to rely on Starlink. And it's going to be rough, but we'll enjoy it while we're here.
Sweet. Yeah, I know. I haven't gotten. I have the option for actually 1.2 gigabyte internet download speed, which is freaking insane. But it's also stupid expensive. So I went a little bit lower just to test out Xfinity, see if I even like it at first. And then I didn't realize I can get my own router because Xfinity allows you to use your own router or modem, I should say. So I'm gonna buy one of those, save like an extra $15, and just then go all out. But at the moment, what I got for now is good. It's Xfinity's actually, their customer service was actually still pretty good.
Nice.
I might, rare. Some people, I mean, I hated, I hated Spectrum. It was even worse, and they had the monopoly in the area. So, but
this is going to be, so I have 100 down and 40 up. I'm going to have gigabit up and down, and it's going to be $40 a month cheaper. So wow. I'm excited, like really excited.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Wait, damn.
What?
That's crazy how much you spend now for 100 then.
Yeah. It's like 150. It's $150 a month.
Jesus Christ, dude, that would be my gigabyte speed.
Yeah.
Like a little bit less.
Yeah. Because I have to, the highest residential one they offer is only 10 up. Try uploading a YouTube video at 10 up. It drove me nuts. Drove me nuts. So I had to pay an extra like $30 a month for the 40 upload. Crazy.
Also, can I just say something real quick? Everyone in chat is making fun of my shirt. I've worn their shirt before, guys, and I've never gotten roasted like this. Is it because I'm back now? Is it because I live in the country now? Is that why?
I mean, you're pulling the look off. You got the flannel going on, the Amish ready to go.
It was a little cold in my office. All right, chill.
What's your guys' problem, chat?
What's your problem?
What's your problem, man? So man,
I don't give a fuck.
I am also home alone, which is weird. My wife and child are visiting in-laws in Missouri, so I've been home alone for the last few days. So I've been playing the shit out of Starfield and Search and Destroy in Rainbow Six.
So I did see your little peek on S&D.
I got so many clips from this weekend from drinking and playing S&D, man. I have so many funny clips. and the house is empty too, so I can yell. So I can yell and scream and like go crazy.
Oh, that's true.
So there's some funny clips that'll be stay tuned to my Twitter and TikTok. I mean X. Sorry, Elon. Again, I apologize to Elon.
It says Twitter.com. Don't care.
Other than that,
I don't think
there's been much else going on the personal end of things. I've just been
no.
playing games, getting caught up on editing jobs. You've been moving, you're locked in, and we're back on the road. I haven't really talked to you much since Gamescom, since you were moving.
Dude, I haven't talked to anyone, so this is the first like conversation
back in the public, back to talking to people.
At least on the internet. In person, I've had conversations, but yeah, I tried doing it through my phone on Discord. It's just not the same.
Right. I guess before we get into the prepared topics, did you want to talk about anything from Gamescom, like Tarkov Arena or like any of that stuff? I talked about it with Blackout last week. Did you catch any of the episode last week? It was really cool. We actually got Blackout live. We got him to partner while we were while we were live. That was really cool.
Well, like I know for me, Tarkov Arena, as much as I'm definitely gonna play it for sure. I didn't like the speed of which the games were being played. I thought they were a bit too fast. And I think that's if I'm wrong, is that the only game mode that they have is just like a TDM?
No, there's like 4 game modes. There's a 1v1, a TDM, an objective one, and I can't remember the fourth. There's 4, I think.
So yeah, because like when they showcased the gameplay, I thought they showed it wrong. Just people holding down W, hip firing, your standard Tarkov Chad plays. While that is definitely a way to play the game, I just think like if you go in and we talked about right before we started, like let's say queue times are long, because I don't know what it's gonna be like when you actually load into a game. Do you have to you go into a party with your friends and then from there you got to match make over the people? Is it through region, and how long is that gonna take? And then you go in after 15, 20 minutes, finally getting with your friends, maybe an extra 10 minutes on top of that, waiting to get into a game. just to die in like the first 10 seconds from. I mean, people were in the gameplay, they were lobbing nades across the map, like knowing exactly where the people were going to spawn. You know, like people died immediately.
That sounds like Search.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think like if people get to learn those plays and those spawns and stuff like that, it's going to be like pretty crappy for. Then again, I don't know too many casual players are going to be playing this game because I mean Tarkov in general is more like for the hardcore shooter, but I feel like that's what Tarkov Arena is meant for, is to bring in a more casual audience. I do like the like spectator camera for your friendlies after you die. You can kind of see what, you know, where they're getting hit from, stuff like that. But I just feel like once I need to see the other game modes in action as well too. I want to see what I'm definitely more an objective game mode myself. So if there's a bomb mode, if there's a capture mode, if there's a something to instead of just shoot respawn. But well, I'll see. I don't know. From what I see, it looks like I don't know if this is TDM and you get killed once and then that's it. Like I don't know what game mode that they were showcasing on that gameplay. So
I think it was objective one. I'm not 100% sure, but I agree with you.
I mean, if there was an objective, I didn't see the objective. Like they killed each other so fast. What objective other than killing each other? You know?
Right. There are definitely. I agree with you. There's some weird nuances that come with Tarkov that could make Arena really weird. Like one thing I noticed is like they had stims in their pre-made loadout. Well, if the rounds are only like a minute and a half and you have a Propital, you just pop it at the beginning and it's going to last the entire round no matter what. So like the meta you can see on almost all these guys, if they have a stim, they just pop it off the beginning. They just pop it at the beginning. So at that point, you're just pushing keys to push keys. You just stop there's like no thought that goes into it. You just pop it at the beginning and it lasts the whole round. There's no reason for that. The soft skills.
It's not just, weird. And I thought, I really think they should have just made default classes and just had everyone on the same playing field when it comes to the skill level and stuff like that. That's another thing I'm not a fan of, is like leveling up your characters. Plus, I guess it levels up in the actual game. I'm very confused on that because I haven't really done. Again, I've been away from the computer for a while, but like from what I've seen in front of her, it's like I guess if you level up your character in the base game, it also levels up the character in Arena and vice versa.
Yeah, soft skills like stamina and stuff. But I heard, and I hated that. Like Arena should be level playing field, right? And
that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, everyone should just be leveled, recoil, stamina. It's just if the only thing you're choosing, and I did like the way they set it up, like the class loadouts. Like you got your CQB, your long range, sharpshooter guy, your assault guy, and stuff like that. That makes sense. But then just have everyone again, same stamina, same recoil control, ergonomics, all of that. I mean, ergonomics depends probably on the gun you choose, anyways. But still, like, I just don't think that's gonna be super. I don't know. I guess that's something I have to get my hands behind because I love Tarkov and the gunplay, but if it's just gonna be, because imagine if you and what if what's SBMM gonna be looking like? What if someone who's been leveling up their characters forever and they're a laser beam and they can run forever, compared to someone who just loads in? So I don't know.
I did hear they were gonna
someone who's just playing Arena.
Right. I did hear they were going to put a cap on that, but I just feel like with all the intricacies and nuances and details in Tarkov, transferring that to Arena, there could be some weird metas that I could see people I could see everyone spawning in, hitting their stims, dropping all their shit except their guns so they're light, and running across the map and trying to, if the round's a minute and a half, like you don't need that gear. You'd rather have the speed. So everybody just drop all their gear except their gun and sprint across the map. Like I can see weird stuff like that.
You see the kill feed, and immediately when they load it to the game, the kill feed's already popping off. It's like, that was quick.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, we'll just have to see. We'll both be playing it when it comes out. I hope it's soon. It could be a long time. They're thinking it could be December when they wipe the next one. So it could be a little longer. We also got, oh man, did you see, the bad news about Heartland, that it won't be till 2024?
I did. That one I
Dude.
saw, and I was just like, God damn it. It's fine. It's fine. You know what? It's such a good game. Let them cook. I need Ubisoft to hit the nail on the head for this game, man.
That's true. But man, I'm so bummed.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to playing that this year, but you know what? That means at least it'll be early 2024 because they did say late 2023 or early 2024. So now it's, unless they delay again, then then we'll have some more things to talk about if they end up delaying that game again. So
yeah, it's not technically a delay because they did say late 2023, early 24. But like,
yeah,
you and I talked about it on here. We're like, the beta played so good, you'd think it would be sooner.
I thought it was gonna. Yeah, exactly. Maybe this is wishful thinking, and that's probably what it was. But again, yeah, you're right. It's not an actual delay. They did say the timeline, so they're sticking to that timeline. But again, just give them a little bit more time to cook. I don't know. I mean, it probably will be the first quarter of 2024.
I would think.
So, yeah, there's no way it'll be second. So
to be good journalists, what happened is the community manager talked about all the. They did a post on their Twitter, on their X, about all the information and data that they got from the beta, and she said as we move into the launch window in 2024, so we got confirmation that it's not going to be calendar year 23. So we have at least a few more months to wait until Heartland, unfortunately. But I guess I have Starfield to tide me over till then, I guess. For a offline game to play. I guess
I'm gonna install it tonight and get some time into it.
I'll be interested to hear
how I feel. Yeah, I'll make a video about it. It's my first video back, so
I'll be interested to hear what your experience is like. I was gonna talk about mine in a little bit and see what you think. No spoilers. Don't worry.
No spoilers. I just want to know if it's playable. That's all I want to know. We'll get into that later.
We will for sure. Okay. So I guess another game that I do play a lot is Rainbow Six Siege. We'll get into the first topic.
You just happen to play it.
I dabble. Okay. I just get into it a little bit. Dude, I was excited for this season because, as you guys know from last season, I made it to Emerald on PC as a 36-year-old new dad. Like, I'm feeling pretty froggy. Okay. I'm feeling like I'm a good player. I'm feeling real good. So I was excited for this season, and this season has been trash, dude. I've said nothing but good things about Rainbow Six Siege on this podcast generally, but this season has been embarrassing, and I don't know why. Still to this day, so it's been out for like a week or so. Still to this day, the ranking system is not working. No stats are tracking. Everyone's still unranked. So you could have played, dozens of games, and you're not, like, the ranked doesn't work, like, at all. The first entire day that the season went live, the servers were down, so you couldn't even get into it. And I'm like, cut them some slack. No. It's a new game. It's only been out 8 years. They've only done 32 seasons at this point or some shit.
Early access, guys. Come on.
Jeez, man. So, but not only that, like the fundamental, like that's all going to eventually get fixed. It's just been an incredibly bug-ridden season in the little bit I've had. The things that aren't necessarily going to get fixed that I hate are the changes that they made to the game modes. They completely butchered the game modes. And
yeah,
I gave rank 2.0 a chance. I absolutely despise it, man, especially this season. Because you start out at copper and move your way up, but your hidden matchmaking rating doesn't change from last season. So you start out as a copper, so you think, oh, it's copper, we're going to work our way up. These first few games should be easier. We were playing perennial diamond and champ players the first night. Like it's like completely disjointed from your actual rank. So then it's just like, what the point? What is the point? It's so rank 2.0 is so terrible. It's not fulfilling at all. And especially where now, like, it's not even working right now. No one has a rank at all. And stats aren't tracking. KD's not tracking. Win ratings, nothing's tracking. The API is completely down.
Just one update is completely just ruined it.
But I despise rank 2.0. And ranked was my favorite mode to sweat it out on and try to get better and compete and level up. And it's just not fun, man. Rank 2.0 sucks because
at least you got to Emerald once in your life,
I did it. But your rating doesn't match your rank. And that's so stupid. Like, it's so dumb. And then they made quick match to where the site's already prepped. So there's already reinforcements set up. There's already rotates made in walls. So it just basically starts. Like you get a little bit of a drone phase and then it just starts. So quick match is like weird. Like it's set up already. You can't change how the site's set up. You can't experiment with different strats. Quick match was cool to hop in, warm up, and try different things. A lot of times if you watch my stream, we hit random we hit random weird operators and we set sites up weird and we try different tactics and see how it plays out, different angles and stuff. The site's set up one way and you can't change it. It's already set up. It's so stupid. And then unranked is like kind of like quick match used to be. So you can't practice ranked. You used to have unranked that you could get into and practice, get used to the timing, the skills, the map set, and like the operator bands and all that. And that's completely gone. So I'm just really disappointed in this season of Siege. And I'm really disappointed in the direction that they've taken the game modes. Like it sucks. Rank 2.0 is so trash. I know you probably don't have much to say about it, but I'm just mad and I wanted to talk about it. Because it's like,
well, I mean, it's just in general for the game, like you said, for a game to be out that long and then one update to come and just, absolutely destroy the background API. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, yeah, because it's like there's not like COVID going on where no one can work together. It's not. They've released so many seasons. Like they've done so many seasons. Like, do they not test them? Like, it didn't work at all day one. Like the test server did. I'm just confused, like how that happens. And then rank 2.0 again is probably the other stuff's gonna get fixed. The rank 2.0 might not, and that's scary and really sad because it's not fulfilling at all. At what point was someone at Ubisoft like, hey, let's make a ranked mode where your ranked is not actually your rank? Oh yeah, good idea. Let's do that. It's just they just changed it to get participation trophies and everybody to play. Because if people play a lot, you can get a higher rank than you deserve. Your actual ranking can be higher than your match. A lot of people, some of the creators are calling it a second battle pass. Your rank is just another battle pass. The more you play, the higher you'll rank. Because a lot of times you gain more than you lose. So if you just keep playing games, you'll get higher. But then I got on the other side of it now when you're starting out, that my matchmaking rating is way higher than my actual rank. So I'm a copper player playing against diamonds and champs, and it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. If I'm going to play against diamonds and champs, give me that rank. Give me an emerald, give me a plat rank, and I'll play against those players. But like, it's just a shitty feeling. I hate it, man. So yeah, that's my Siege rant. There you go. It was quick, but I had to say it.
Siege.
I'll keep playing it because there's no other game like it. I love the gameplay loop and learning and stuff. It's just sad. And I'm sad to think about like the era of ranked, like the golden age of ranked Siege could be over for me. And that's really sad to think about
forever,
just the way it is. I don't know if other people might like it. I haven't heard of any, but somebody might like it. So Starfield, Blue.
Good old Starfield.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for me too. I will just caveat this entire conversation with, I'm not a single player gamer. I never finish them. I hardly ever play them.
I don't think. I mean,
ever give them a try.
Someone's gonna 100% this game.
Oh yeah, somebody probably already has. People are wild. People are wild. But I guess we can talk about Starfield because it's a shooter, right? You got guns in there. Man, I don't know where to start on this. I guess towards the end, we talked about it before the show. Blue and I will probably comment just a little bit on the whole pro down controversy, but it's going to be a very, very, very small part of what we talk about.
It's not even a controversy
because it doesn't matter. It's really stupid. It's mainly not to comment on it. It's mainly to make fun of other people on the internet is really what it is.
It's mainly just to remind you guys, play the games that you want to play.
Yeah.
That's it. Simple as that.
And another thing, I've been thinking about this. Did you know, Blue, crazy breaking news? You can actually be friends with someone and not agree with them on every single political issue. Did you know that?
No way.
Yeah. It's true. I heard that. You can actually be friends with somebody.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Yeah, it's cool. Crazy. a little life hack for you guys. But anyway, Starfield. So I don't have a ton of experience with Bethesda games. I don't have a ton of experience with single player games. So that's what
true.
That's what
Is
I
this
want.
your first like main Bethesda game?
Yeah. What a caveat with that.
Yeah. Okay.
So everybody's probably like, oh, who cares then what you think? But
well, no, I think having a fresh look at it, because I was watching Fry played on stream, and like, of course, he had the one issue of like he shot an NPC and the NPC went down, and that he couldn't continue the quest after that. And I was just like, good old Bethesda bug. Like, I guess you're just kind of used to it when you play Bethesda games. I mean, that's like definitely a game breaking one, especially. I mean, you can always like load the last save, and that's kind of like the thing you do. But I mean, for me, I was hearing like the background music and I was thinking, oh man, this sounds just like Fallout 3's like walking through the wasteland like background music. I wonder if it's the same composer as well too. But yeah, from the outside looking in, I don't see too many people complaining about performance. That was the biggest worry for me, is performance and optimization for the PC.
It's not good.
Yeah,
but it's not good, but it's not game breaking. It's
not because I know the whole like thing of they were saying, oh, a 30 FPS, it's gonna be stuck at that, it's like, okay, whatever. If it runs good and there's not that many bugs, then whatever. But if they're still having performance issues at that moment, then it's just like, then what was the point of you doing that in the first place?
Yeah. And that is annoying because there's not DLSS, so they used FSR, and then everybody's like, why'd they do that? Well, let me just let you in on a little something. The reason they did FSR, which is AMD's version of super scaling, is because in the Xbox console is an AMD GPU. So, and it's an Xbox exclusive, so that's what they did. The other thing is, so for me, my overall experience is I've had 2 bugs, and I had one time where I got caught in a death loop, which wasn't a bug, just a Bethesda game thing, where like I died with a little bit of health, and it just respawned me around everybody that's still aggroed on me.
That's definitely, that happens a lot in other single player games where it's just, and that's not just a Bethesda thing. That is just like a horrible save checkpoint area.
Yeah, I didn't save. In my most recent save was like 2 hours earlier, and I didn't want to lose all that progress. Yeah. So I actually spawned in and I just sprinted for the hills, and I actually made it out of there, and then did a quick save.
But that's like a good that you do that, and it's like, oh man, I made it. It's like it's a fun moment.
It kind of was at the end. While I was in that death loop, though, I was getting mad, like the 10 or 12 deaths I had.
Oh, it's so frustrating. Yeah, that's like when you get so excited, and at the end you're like, all right, I need to take a break.
Yeah.
But
so I just,
what was it like? And I forgot what I was gonna say anyways.
Well, I just looked at my Steam, and I played 12 hours so far, so that's how far I am into it.
For someone who's never played a Bethesda game, that's pretty good. And who doesn't really play a lot of single player games as well.
I'm gonna really try hard to see it through, because it is a cool game.
Did you force yourself to like at first?
There was a time yesterday where I was like, oh, I just want to quit. I don't want to play this anymore. But I'm going to give it a chance because I think there's a lot there. I think this game is absolutely massive. I did see something that did make sense. Someone did a video where they compared Starfield to Cyberpunk with how the AI react. Like in Cyberpunk, if you point a gun at an NPC, they'll all kind of run and like, I have kids, I want to get home. If you point a gun in here, they don't do anything. They just look at you and walk by. Like you can shoot all around. So
that's kind of annoying.
There's really annoying stuff like that.
The immersion's gone at that point.
And then it kind of turns into comedy too. So I had the death loop. I didn't count as a bug. I had one bug that locked it up where I had to Alt F4. And then
really,
I had one bug where my companion lady tried to run through a wall and she was just stuck running against the wall. And it was kind of funny, but the AI is pretty rough. But
I've seen the AI in other gameplay videos and streams and stuff like that, and it looks bad.
But that's
Cyberpunk looks a bit better.
Yeah, but that's not the whole story, because in Starfield, you can go up and talk to a random citizen and go on a whole entire several hour long quest line. just from a random like.
So how many
citizen,
lines
too.
of code for every single NPC? Like,
Yes.
I don't know. I guess that it's definitely I definitely seen a lot of pathing issues so far. But again, this is a lot of. I do need. I feel like I'm gonna get it today. I'm gonna download it and just see firsthand. I will say the space combat and the building and stuff like that like look amazing.
Dude, I haven't even
I
touched
think
it
they
yet.
did very well. And that's the thing. Yeah, you got it's a ways into the game. So I think a lot of people and I really think the Steam reviews are going to reflect this is that people are going to put 3 to 5 hours and then just call it quits because of all the little things and not get to like the meaty parts of the game. Now, and I do have to say this. I think games like this are very niche in the first place. I don't think this isn't a game for. And as much as they want to make sales, I don't think this is a game for the masses. I think this is a game for people that enjoy this type of gameplay and the way the game like there's not the storyline, but like again, like the leveling up your skills, your skill tree, base building, the ship building, the stuff like that. If people just want to go in and just have a quick storyline, shoot and go. I don't think again outside looking in, I don't know if that's this kind of game. I think there's just so much to do that you're gonna just get lost on each path and just go different routes. So
Yeah, I think from what the reviews are, from what the reviews are, and from my experience, you have to give it time before you get into the meat of the game, like quite a bit of time. What I'm doing, and you can tell me if this is stupid, Blue. I'm like mainlining the main quest, and then like
no. Yeah, you made that. That's perfect.
Okay, because I have my idea.
And I already knew what you were doing. Yeah.
And then after I've completed that, I've leveled up. I'm a badass, and then I just kind of want to run around and explore and like go to crazy planets and build houses and build ships and. Then there's like
anyone can do that, yeah.
And then there's like an infinite number of side quests you can go and do. So I thought I would get through the story, and then I'm kind of excited to get through it, so then I can like really explore the game and how big it is and how many.
Yeah, that's kind of how I took when I first played older Bethesda games, Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, stuff like that. That's kind of how I did it first. I would just kind of go just to get to, because it's almost like a really interesting tutorial in the beginning, first parts of the game, and then just going through the storyline, especially if it's a good storyline. Without spoilers, is it good? Yes or no?
So far, I want to see how it plays out. Yeah, there's a lot of mystery.
Okay.
There's a lot of questions
to be
answered where I'm at.
So that definitely makes me want to, focus on the storyline and then eventually check out some of the side quests. And again, everyone's playthrough is going to be different. I don't think anyone's playthrough, no two playthroughs are going to be the same because there's just so many different routes to take. So
yeah, so I've played through it, or played through 12 hours, and the skill tree is massive. I have like 2% of the skill tree.
That's an RPG mechanic in general.
Yeah,
that's just skill trees are humongous. It's a completely 100% a skill tree is just like people do it. I know you and me as fathers and raising families and stuff like that, and the time we spent outside, it's like it's just not going to be possible. But I feel like you could still have fun with this game. Now you can focus on certain things, which is what I liked about the skill tree, especially for like the ship combat. How to like, you focus on shields, you focus on engineering, you focus on lasers and combat and stuff like that. I think that was really cool. So yeah, it's super cool to see that. Now I definitely, and a buddy of mine was telling me, he's like, when are you gonna get back to Star Citizen? I was like, this is the perfect time to really get back into Star Citizen and just see the difference and some of the similarities as well too.
Yeah, you should play.
Like, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more similarities than people actually realize.
You have to do a video on that,
not for a bad reason. Yeah,
dude, the comparison videos do so well on YouTube. You have to do that. You have to do a Starfield versus Star Citizen video as soon as you have enough knowledge to do it. You have to.
Yeah, I want to put. I mean, I'm trying to think of like the minimum recommended time before I can really get a good opinion on this game, and that differs to different people. Some people like, you got to put 50 hours into the game before you make it a opinion, or some people just do like 5 to 10 hours. So see. See.
Yep. So, yeah, I guess where I'm at on it is the story quests got a little repetitive. You have to go retrieve stuff, and some of the levels are built out. Some of the missions are really similar. But I've just been running around doing the main quest, taking on enemies I'm probably not high enough level to.
How's the shooting?
Annoying.
The FPS combat itself.
It feels good and tight, except for the bloom. There's a massive amount of bloom.
Yeah.
So you get
you can kind of get away with that with like futuristic weapons and stuff like that. You know?
I hate it, man. Like there's just the spread. Like the longer you spray, it just your bullets spread off the center.
Yeah.
And then I have a really cool DMR, a 50 cal DMR that I like because like if I'm around enemies that are way too high level for me to take on, I'll just stay way far back and snipe them and wear them down that way. But like you have this cool booster pack and you can't even like boost and shoot at the same time because when you're moving, your bloom is like can't hit anything. You have to stop, settle, and shoot, and it's annoying because I just kind of want to go.
That seems annoying.
I kind of want to go crazy with like movement and maybe there's a perk that fixes that I haven't even, or a skill trait that fixes that, or I wouldn't surprise me.
True.
That fixes that, so I can't comment too much on that. But there's some interesting, neat guns, and yeah, as someone who doesn't play these games very often, I get a little bit of anxiety thinking how big the game is. Like I haven't even touched shipbuilding. I don't know how to do it. Like building outposts, I don't even know how to do it. I pick up so much junk in my inventory and get encumbered, and I don't know where to sell it, and I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what's important. There's like thousands and thousands and thousands of items, and I just get anxiety because I don't know what to do with them.
It is a lot.
So that starts to make me want to quit. But yeah, I will say I'm gonna give it my very best, and it might work out to where I'm kind of finished and done with this game by the time Heartland comes out. So maybe this can be my off-stream chill, like when I get a couple hours a day to myself. This is what I'll run around and do, and then maybe I'll get through it by the time Heartland comes out. That's kind of my plan for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm excited.
Well, I'll let you know how I feel.
All right, yeah. I will end it on that controversy, drama, or whatever, just really quick, just as more of a PSA, guys. So Deserto put out this tweet. They said some Starfield players are boycotting the game over pronoun selection in the character creation menu. And this summarizes my thoughts. I tweeted back. It got a lot of likes and a lot of views. They said some people, no examples, no numbers, nothing. It's not great journalism. There's some people that you can find some people that do anything. There's always assholes. There's always evil people. There's always people who are great too. You can find some people that do literally anything. I'm tired of quote unquote news like this that's meant for clicks, revenue, and being divisive. Don't get sucked into this stuff, guys. Play the game if you like it. Enjoy it. Just who cares? Let people be. Yeah, be the change you want to see in the world. Be good people. Play the game if you want to. If you don't. Just don't get sucked into that divisive social media shit that's masquerading as news.
Yep.
And be pleasant. Just be good people. It's so silly. I just get really tired of people like masquerading controversial stuff as news just to get clicks and ad revenue. It sucks. Yeah. Don't fall for it, guys. But yep, I'm interested to see how this goes. All right. We have like a lot of like smaller topics today. Not necessarily a ton.
Watch tomorrow stuff's gonna pop off.
Dude, yeah, I'll be like, whoa, which episode was tomorrow? I guess we didn't announce it. I'm gonna announce more stuff, but the Call of Duty, I did mention this last week that I thought the Drop Shot Call of Duty podcast guys would be on this week. I completely screwed up messaging them. It's gonna be next week. So September 11th.
So blame Crash.
Hashtag blame Crash. Production team. The production team was supposed to message them back.
Production team, yeah, it wasn't Crash's fault, guys. Come on.
Yeah, and this is what happened.
He's just the host.
With the most. Okay. Next. Battlefield is making some interesting hires. I almost made a video about it, but I don't know if anybody cares about Battlefield anymore.
I don't think so either, man.
It's kind of wild.
I
Sarge,
really don't think so.
I kind of don't either. Sarge over on Twitter talked about Battlefield Mobile. So the game is being developed by Ripple Effect, previously Dice LA, along with the PC and console version. So if you guys are like, man, I wonder why Portal's not getting any updates, because Ripple Effect's working on Battlefield Mobile, released around late 2025 or early 2026. That can give you a clue as to when probably the next mainline Battlefield title will be, because it's going to have multiplayer and campaign, and it's going to have cross progression, most likely with the possibility of cross play. So you can see that
the mobile game is going to have a campaign.
Yeah. So, and people talked about, people were sad when they canned the original Battlefield Mobile. And I knew they were going to come back, because what Andrew Wilson has said on their conference calls is that they want Battlefield to be a connected platform like Fortnite or whatever, to where, and like what Call of Duty is doing. Of course, they don't innovate at all. They just copy other people. That's just what EA does. So the Battlefield Mobile is going to have multiplayer and campaign, and it's going to be cross progression. So, and potentially crossplay with the mainline PC title.
My God, I'm gonna be shitting on all those mobile players.
But the source of this, the source of this is from their job listings. So then, if you further look into their job listings, sorry for the flashbang. Holy shit, that's really bright. They're also the surface of the sun. They're also looking for a new game director for multiplayer Battlefield in Stockholm and Gothenburg, Sweden. So you can read through that, but they are talking about we're now part of a set of global studios building a connected Battlefield universe, developing Battlefield's one-of-a-kind multiplayer suite. Hear that? More than one game. While also building a team to support our new Seattle-based studio Ridgeline Games, who are leading the development of a single-player narrative campaign. So that's kind of stuff we already knew. But they are looking at a game director for the multiplayer portion of Battlefield, which I'm not sure who left or if that's a new position or what. But I thought that was kind of interesting. So. That could have been a quick shot, because that's what Battlefield is reduced to. I know, like lately with Battlefield, like the big news that's been all over their Twitter is that they're changing the vehicle count, and they've been like teasing maps at a time.
Man,
yeah, they've been teasing like maps at a time. Like, this is going to be the vehicle count on this map. Stay tuned for a tweet tomorrow for the vehicle count on the next map. They're like, it's like, this is where we're at in your live service. This is where we are. We're teasing vehicle numbers changes.
Yeah, I think it's just it's time to move on. It's time to move on from Battlefield. I made a video before I moved about, like, how to make Battlefield great again. And just to kind of just test the waters with it. People obviously agree, but at the same time, it's when your tweets are about a vehicle count number, and that's like the only tweet you have, the only update you got coming along. We clearly see where your focus is, and it's making money. It's not making a good game. It's not making a product for the player. It's just making money. How much you could squeeze out of the current player base. Hence the suite and the crossplay and the whole Battlefield as a platform instead of a Battlefield as the game,
with the smallest amount of work possible.
Correct.
And no new content. Yeah, it's pretty rough. So that's where Battlefield's at right now. It's gonna be such a drought until 2025 to see what they come out with. Like,
yeah, and I'm hoping we get alternatives between that. I feel like EA at this point is not the same EA it was back in the early 2000s, 2010s.
Yeah, I mean, Battlefield's essentially dead until then, in my opinion. There's just nothing going on. Okay. So that's that. Dan asked a really good question in chat to add to this, though. He said, "Are there any BF players that even ask for mobile? Who are they making this game for?" If you listen to the conference calls, to the earnings calls, Andrew Wilson talks about mobile is actually the biggest gaming platform, like the biggest potential player base that's out there. It's the largest gaming platform, bigger than PC, bigger than console, because everyone has a phone, and it's EA, so they're going to chase it. They're going to try. So I don't think there's inherently a lot of Battlefield players that want to play on mobile. I think it's they want to bring a Battlefield game to the big, large ocean of multiplayer, or Christ, the large large population of mobile players. Got it. I'm old. It's fine. I've been drinking.
A large population.
Yeah, there's a lot of people with cell phones that play games on them.
How many people are really? Exactly. Yeah. I feel like most of those like Call of Duty mobile games I've seen, you know, are like half of the lobbies bots anyways.
Kinda. Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, speaking of Battlefield,
the next Battlefield killer, man.
The next Battlefield killer. God dang it. I'm so tired of people saying that shit.
It kind of is bad. But anyway, Delta Force has kind of been everywhere. That's the game we're going to talk about. But there has been a little bit of drama, and I want to talk about it in regards to a content creator named Wacky Jackie. He is, if you're not familiar with the PUBG scene, he's a really large PUBG content creator. And he talks about...
funny enough, I played with him a little bit for World War III.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, again, which makes sense of him, like with the whole Delta Force game. I think he's into those kind of games as well.
Yep, that makes sense. I don't know about you, Blue, but I've been kind of getting like a Raid Shadow Legends vibe from Delta Force. Like they're just putting themselves out there everywhere with content creators. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, I will say I'm not fully sold on the game yet. I know some people are. I'm not. I don't think
no.
You know, all the gadgets and power-ups and stuff like that. I really hope. I get they try to include it in the lore of like, oh, the future warfare, the future, you know, the future of warfare and, you know, super soldiers and stuff like that. But to call this a Battlefield killer, not the case. I don't think that's ever going to be a case for. I don't think any other game could really claim that title. And then from what I saw with Wacky Jackie, and you know, again, this is a guy that I know he's not gonna put the game in a bad light unless it's a bad game. And for them to, you know, apparently, I guess what was it that he wasn't? They've been what was it? The client has been like. I'll just read the tweet actually off of this because I haven't pulled up his reel too. So the Wacky Jackie was basically saying that he was going to sign a contract, which already signing a contract for a Delta Force game this early screams like warning, red flag, like wait, you're going to sign a contract now before the game's even out. Even in early alpha test, it's very hard to do that. Then apparently their agency has threatened Wacky Jackie from future drops, or they threatened him. So they haven't actually blacklisted him, but the fact that they even had that on the table screams, who else would they do this to?
Yeah.
So, and it just seemed, and you know, and it just all of that, it feels very scummy in my opinion, and their entire agency just kind of went down the drain for me for that.
Exactly. So he tweeted he was going to sign that contract, which I totally agree. It's way early to do that when you don't know what the game even is like. Maybe he has some inside information, but he said he was unable to meet their deadline when he informed them their agency, Delta Force's agency, threatened him with blacklisting him from drops so he couldn't get like Twitch drops, which will probably be a big deal for a free-to-play game. And he posted the message, and the agency said, to be transparent, this client has been very lenient and quick with drafts and giving feedback. However, when it comes to drops, they are very strict, and I would like to avoid Enric, which is Wacky Jackie's real name, getting blacklisted if it really came down to it. They use the word blacklisted. Like, he's not even using that himself. They use the word blacklisted. Mm-hmm. They said, let me know if we can save this deal, which is crazy. So the agency will blacklist creators for not making a deadline, which if you take that just a tiny step forward, again, this is not confirmed. This is me just talking and speculating a bit. It doesn't seem like that far of a fetch for them to blacklist creators if they don't promote their game in a positive light, right? Like,
correct.
That seems like the next logical step almost. So basically, this is all to say we're kind of informing our audience to be a little bit careful of the Delta Force game and not buy into all the crazy hype. Again, it's pretty safe because it's going to be free to play and you're going to be able to see what it's like. But just take all the hype videos that you're going to see with a grain of salt, essentially.
Yeah, seriously. And on top of that, I do and what was it? David reminded me in chat of Crows. This does have some of like the Crows marketing vibes behind it, of like when you thought the game was going to be a certain way, and then you really start picking it apart and you realize it's completely the opposite of what you thought. You know, again, especially in the beginning, when Delta Force first put the little teaser, it's like, oh, this looks like a super hardcore gritty game, and then it looks like a modern era shooter, and then the next one was like more into the power-ups and the gadgets and the super soldiers and stuff like that. I did see the whole like building destruction, which seemed interesting, but I'm thinking like how many buildings are really going to be able to be destroyed like that on a massive scale? And on top of that, it looked like instead of like how Battlefield does it, where like if you certain buildings in like older, well, even the new Battlefield game, but if you shoot like a certain wall, it'll break a certain way compared to everything else. Where this one looked like it was just like it's gonna look, it might be just the same animation every time, and I just think that just looks very cheap, and it just doesn't give me the confidence of this game is going to be a good free to play shooter. So I don't know, prove me wrong, Delta Force. The old Delta Force games are great. I'm pretty sure the campaign will be okay, but it might be like 2 hours of gameplay.
Yeah,
maybe. So
yeah, prove him wrong. He would love to eat crow. Ha, get it? Little pun there. Crows, huh?
There it is. There it is.
All right. Oh, this show is so fucking bad. Yeah,
it's not our fault. Games are bad. It's not our fault.
It isn't our fault. I'm still starting to get this like increasing feeling that like standard Respawn multiplayer gaming is dead, but I don't know. I'm probably gonna make a video about it and see how mad people get.
But the people were also saying that back in like Battlefield 4 times as well too. It hasn't been this bad.
The numbers are showing it though, because like even BattleBit is dropping players like crazy.
Oh my God, there was another game that did that recently as well too. It was Riot was tweeted about it, and I was just like, "There's no way." And God, now I gotta find it, because when I looked up the Steam charts, I was sad to see that as well too.
For me, I'm just sad to see like BattleBit, but I'm not saying BattleBit did anything wrong or did anything bad. Like there's nothing other than a success that you could call BattleBit, but to see where it's at now and where it's going is.
That's another, Star Siege Dead Zone.
Oh yeah.
Just completely died. Like I think if I look up, I mean, it wasn't the greatest. It was like about 4,000 players, it said. But Star Siege Dead Zone Steam charts. Yeah, I have it. Here's my history. Oh my God, it's worse. 4 people playing 29 minutes ago. 11 people on a 24-hour peak. Holy crap.
Dude, how bad do you feel for the devs, man?
That wasn't a bad game. It wasn't like amazing, but it wasn't. Wow. It was playable. It had its moments, and it was fun. A little extraction shooter.
That's why I don't think the like Marquez is saying, I love you to death, man, but like the quality of games is terrible. I don't think you can say that, because that game quality wasn't that bad. And there's like BattleBit's game quality was really good. Like it released in a great state. I don't know, man. I think the novelty's wearing off of some FPS games, and I think the novelty's really wearing off of respawn game modes, man.
I mean, I will say compared to Star Siege, BattleBit does have a decent.
Yeah, I mean it's hanging in there.
10,000, you know.
Yeah, it's hanging in there. It was a top seller for a while on Steam. I got a lot of hours out of it. Like I got my $15 out of it 100%. Like it's a success. But man, like
I think I mean, especially with Star Siege. I mean, again, it wasn't a bad game. It, you know, people had some issues with some like hit reg and stuff like that, but
bro,
there's for 4 people now, dude, single digits we're talking about. I knew it was bad. I didn't think it was this bad. And it literally, I mean, if I have to go, I want to see when it died, because I've never seen anything this bad before. Okay, so back in, what is that? So so August 1st was the peak it ever hit. And it just slowly over time, it dropped to like 2,000 a little bit, August 5th. And then just, you know, it would have its moments where it almost basically pulled a World War III, where if people were offline at a certain time, some people that would get online didn't have enough players to play it to. So they thought, oh, it's a dead game, I'm just going to stop playing. And that cycle repeated itself over and over and over again. So eventually it was just 3-digit number, 2-digit number.
That's bad.
RIP.
That's real bad. There's no.
I also think that too. You know what? And I've been saying this for a long time in Arcus, and I kind of, and then this is real quick. I think attention span is a big issue now. I think a lot of people don't think it is. Maybe this is the boomer coming out of me, but I think the generations now, I mean, just take a look at YouTube Shorts, TikTok, all that stuff, how quick people are with YouTube, with attention spans for videos and even some games as well too. I really think that could be an issue. I don't think it's the main issue, but I don't think it's the quality of games. In fact, I think quality of games have gone up since, you know, the last 10 years.
Dang. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of stuff at play. It's an interesting topic to get into. It really is, because something's different with players. I feel like if a game would have released like that, you know, 10 years ago or something, and I'm not even saying like technology advancement wise, I'm just saying something with that kind of gameplay loop and even that quality wasn't crazy, but it wouldn't have 4 players, man. That's wild.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's the amount of technology at our fingertips, for the amount of options that players have it could be overwhelming to some people, I feel like, as well too, especially for like brand new PC players as well too. There's just so many games out there that it's hard to just focus on one and make it your main game, where mainly people are just going to make those AAA heavy hitters their main game, like we've seen in other polls and stuff like that, where Call of Duty is sometimes the only game installed on a console for some people, you know, and that's the only game they'll play. They're not going to look at indie games. They're not, especially even on PC. Some people built $3,000-$4,000 PCs just to play Minecraft. Sorry, Arcast. You know, but some people literally will just do that just to play one game, and not and then, you know, I don't know. I think I really feel like it's a generational thing. Because again, like you said, if Star Siege Dead Zone came out 10 years ago, we wouldn't be talking about it dying off this quickly.
I don't think so. It's weird. Something, yeah, it's definitely changed. I don't know what kind of game will succeed. I mean, I come back to like my own opinions. I feel like the round-based bomb mode shooters are about it for multiplayer shooters. That and
I
BRs and
think that's a
extractions.
good game mode. I don't think it'll save games though.
I mean, CS:GO, Valorant, and Siege. If you add all those together, that's a huge amount of players that
That's
are playing
true.
that mode.
That's true. Yeah. Forget, but I feel like, yeah, I mean, especially Valorant too. When Valorant kicked off, oof, huge explosion. But
CS:GO is still climbing. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to become a bomb mode creator.
I think extraction games are too hardcore for some people. It's already a small player base, and then you include hardcore elements into that extraction game mode. It's even more niche.
Yeah,
So,
and I just don't think there's been an extraction game that's figured out the end game yet, in my opinion. There always comes
not
a
even
point.
Tarkov has.
Nah, if that game would die within,
hence the wipe.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. Like it would die within 6 months if there wasn't a wipe. Like they don't. It's all about the progression. Like they have to delete the game every few months for people to keep playing it.
Correct.
You go ahead.
No, because then I was gonna move on to the little quick shot we had.
Oh, got you. I was
even when you do. What were you gonna say?
I just want to say one more thing about extraction games. I feel like in extraction game modes, there always comes to a point where you question yourself as to why you're going back in to whatever it is. Why you're starting another raid? Like why do I need? It's not to win. If you've already, it's for progression, and if you've already progressed, like what is?
Yeah, that's why people take breaks. Yeah, I mean, I was the same way for 2 years, and then eventually I said, I think I'm done. I've done my progression wipes. I've done my progression
Yeah.
itself. I've, and I haven't played Tarkov in, was it 2018? That's like 4 years. 3 really, but
Yeah, I get it. Oh, we had a hang fire.
That was what was that, dude?
We had a misfire. We had a bad round. I accidentally hit the button twice, and it just kind of.
That was good. No, that was good though. That was. You got it. That's a way to get people just.
It's been that kind. It's been that kind of episode today, man. I don't know.
It's been. It was a reloaded rounds and the striker hit and nothing happened.
Yep.
The hammer hit, nothing happened.
Bad primer.
Oh man. But speaking of games, when they finally do something good, all of a sudden they get shut down by the bigger corporations. And what I'm talking about today, if you guys haven't heard about this game called Paradox of Hope, basically it was a Metro inspired VR title that was single player. And it had your little hideout situation. You can buy weapons, buy gas mask filters, buy attachments, clean your guns. You can sit there, clean out your AKs, your Makarovs. You can play the guitar when you're sitting on your bed and just, do some really cool, like Stalker-esque with Metro. Cause it felt more like Stalker, just underground in all the tunnels. And then you had like these weird creatures and all these, radiation spots and stuff like that. So, and again, this is this is a type of game that has been redone over and over and over again. Of course, you have the main games like Stalker and Metro Exodus, the recent one. But other games have been doing like this post-apocalyptic radiation underground tunnel stuff for a long time. So for all of a sudden, and I believe I brought it up I don't know exactly who sent the copyright strike, if it's the developer 4A Games or Deep Silver, which is the publisher, but they went ahead and basically sent a copyright cease and desist or infringement for Paradox of Hope. So, and according to Nick Z, or Nikita, which is his name, he's like the lone developer, not that Nikita, guys. Oh my god, I just did something weird. I looked to my right thinking my camera was there. I gotta get used to this way now.
Hey, Blue, I'm over here, pal.
Sorry. Look into my eyes. This is just a one person game, and all of a sudden he is getting his Steam store page got taken down. that was his only sole source of income, apparently, because apparently it was selling pretty well again for a year, and it was actually getting some traction. There was a lot of cool updates coming out. They added bandits and stuff like that into the game, so there was actual like other NPCs in there and stuff like that. So it was really coming along, and then all of a sudden, taken off the Steam store page. It's still in your Steam library, so if you bought it before, it's still there. It didn't get taken away. But the worst part is that he's saying, and of course, fortunately, the one he said, however, fortunately, the one with more money has the upper hand in legal matters, which is,
True.
of course, to Deep Silver and 4A games. So I simply cannot afford to take this into the realm of legal proceedings. Consequently, the further development of Paradox of Hope is halted, and the game will no longer be available for purchase. And I think that's just so sad. As he said, what happens next, as far as you know, people who already own the game will be able to continue playing it. And I guess he said he'll take all that experience and release a new game in the same genre, but without the Moscow metro setting. So, and then of course, he's also said he'll look to likely seek the support of a major publisher to avoid any copyright issues. Because he was the sole developer. I think it was, if I remember correctly, it's a Monkey with a Bomb. That's that was the only developer / publisher. So it was just him.
That's weird because I guess I'm not too familiar with it, or even with Metro, to be fair. But it's like, what harm could that be doing to Metro? Like, it's on a different platform. It's VR. Like,
the only way I could think that exactly is, and I highly doubt it, but if Metro decides to, maybe they wanted to make a Metro VR title, perhaps. I know, because you look at Assassin's Creed now, they're making a VR title for that, so maybe Metro is. I don't think so. I really doubt it. But I just to see them again, and this is just it happens to be in the same like location, Moscow, underground tunnels. Sure, you got like, and then you have like in Metro, one of the biggest things is like always switching out your gas mask filters, and that was a mechanic in Paradox of Hope. And it's like, how much more? Russian post-apocalyptic stuff. It was like, you got your AKs, you got your Makarovs, you got all those like heavy inspired Russian weapons. It's like, I really feel like it didn't infringe on anyone's copyright at all whatsoever. The only thing that may have been, I know, like in the Metro game, you have like a journal, and on the journal is like a certain light that comes over it. And even in this game, you kind of had like a similar looking journal. Like a lot of it was very similar. Even in the Metro games, like your lighter in the Metro game was like a bullet casing that flicked open. Same thing in this one too. So it's like, yeah, but at the same time, like I feel like it's more inspired than straight ripped. So I don't know. I really hope he gets to kind of. It was a really good game. I really hope he gets that figured out. So
yeah, it doesn't sound like he's got the money to fight it. That's weird because I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it would hurt Metro at all being on different platforms. And also, I don't know how you copyright like Russia and post like Tarkov is, soccer is, like,
exactly.
There's so many games.
I think,
like
and it's
that.
even sad too, because like 4A Games is a Ukrainian Maltese developer.
Weird.
And then Deep Silver is Austrian. So kind of just like doesn't make sense.
All right then. Well, yeah, that just kind of sucks.
Shout out to Nikita, the good one.
Yeah, the good. You better specify that shit. Oh man. So yeah, that's kind of a short episode this week, but there wasn't a ton going on. Blue's just getting back into the internet, getting back plugged in. So yeah.
It felt nice to be unplugged under the Matrix.
I bet so. Yeah, I don't really have anything else for today. Do you? Anything else?
No. I thought we definitely had a good conversation with like the way just gaming and gamers are nowadays, but I feel like that's another topic for another day when we have more time. So.
Yeah, and I think we could even explore that with the drop shot guys next week. Because
you know what? I'm curious what their opinion would be on that.
I've been listening to their podcast the last several weeks, and they're talking like they don't give a shit hardly about multiplayer. They like playing like Rebirth and Warzone and stuff. So it'll be interesting to get their take. With that being said, that is the fact. Next week we will be joined by Razanon and Tanner from the Drop Shot Call of Duty podcast. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really cool crossover episode. Those guys are hilarious, and there'll be a lot of crazy conversation. We're probably going to center it more around kind of like how Modern Warfare 2 is dying. I'm guessing they probably have some choice words based on their podcast about Infinity Ward, and then
ooh, I'm excited, man.
We will talk about how things can be better, what they're looking forward to with Modern Warfare 3. Because although we are not a exclusive Call of Duty podcast, it kind of is Call of Duty season because we are an FPS show, and that's one of the biggest ones that everybody likes to talk about. So we'll get into that next week. It'll be really good. I'll put out some more promotional material throughout the week to let everybody know, kind of build up to it. I know they're announcing it to their community. Speaking of which, Harry came over from their community and dropped a membership. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate you taking the time to come over here.
Appreciate it.
Super, super kind. And man, it's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to next Monday. It should be really good. And he drops the $5 super chat. Sheesh, man.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I appreciate that, Harry. Thank you, man. I can't either. It's going to be a good time. I actually am going to have to figure out, I might have to enlist Blue's Photoshop skills. I don't have a 4-person overlay. I'll have to figure that out. I only have 3.
Figure it out. We'll figure it out.
So we'll have to do an overlay and set up all that stuff. So it can be done. We have the technology. We will figure it out. We will persevere. It'll be up to the production team who sucks ass. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Next week will be great. Have an awesome week. Stay cool, and we'll see you then.
Peace.
Bye.